Hey guys, Monkhouse here. By the end of this video, you're going to be able to open an image from a Python script. In order to do that, we are going to be using the Python imaging library and Matplotlib. So I shall see you in a moment. Hello, welcome back. So I've got a super short video for you here, but before we open an image in Python, we need to install a few things. So we can start by doing a sudo apt-get update. Oh, by the way, if you're not using Linux, that's fine. If you've installed Python on a Windows machine, then it should come with a pip, which will allow you to install some things. So we're going to do an update here first. Then what we want to do is we want to install. Well, I already have it installed, but we want to make sure that we've got Python installed. And we want to install the Python 3 pip because we're going to pip install some things. And we're going to import Python 3 dev as well because we're going to be using that in the future. So now we've installed pip, what we're going to do is we're going to install Pillow. Oh, and just a quick pause there. If you're struggling with the installs, then you can head over to the blog post that comes along with this video, and I've included a bit more detail. I've included some links as to what we actually need to install, and then you can hopefully figure out a way how to install it onto your machine. So we also want to install Matplotlib, which on Ubuntu you do like this. That's going to be it's wrong. Python 3, it's like this. So that installs Matplotlib for us, and then we're actually going to pip install numpy 3. Sorry, and I didn't mean to say numpy 3, I just meant to say pip3 install numpy, and I didn't put install. So that's almost all of our installs out the way. So we've got Pillow, we've got numpy, and we've got Matplotlib. We won't actually be needing numpy for this tutorial, but we will need it in the future. So we can kind of check that we've got everything by going into our Python shell. Again, if you're on Windows, just by default, if you click on Python, I think it comes up with the shell, and then you actually go into the idle from there. So go into your shell, and you can type in help, and inside there we're just going to put modules, just to make sure that we've installed everything. You can ignore all of this. This is Keras, I think, and TensorFlow. So PIL will actually come up in the top left corner. So we've installed PIL here. Then we want to go to Matplotlib, which is Matplotlib is here, and then we've got NumPy down here. So we've got everything we need. So we can actually exit our shell now. Again, if you're running on Windows, just at this point you probably want to open I think it's called idle, the little windows that you can edit. So I'm actually going to cd into a directory called A, which I use for all my videos, and then I'm going to open a file called a.py. Make this bigger on the right hand side. So another test we can do, if you don't know how to get into your shell, is we can just import. Well, we're going to be using image, and we're going to be importing matplotlib.pyplot, which is what we're going to use to actually plot the image, and we're going to put that in as PLT. And we're also going to import numpy, which we won't specifically be using this video, as MP. And if we close that, we go back to our terminal, then we can actually run our script, and if we don't get any errors, then we're good to go. So no errors reported there. So if you're using Windows, I think you'd be hitting F5 to make your Python script go at this point. So let's go back into, I didn't mean to do this. Let's go back into our script. Make sure you can actually read what's going on, make it nice. And now simply all we need to do, actually let's close this again because something I want to show you. Let's list everything in here. We've actually got an image in here called egg.jpg, which is what we're going to be using. Again, follow the blog post and you'll be able to go to my Google Drive where you can get the image if you so want to. So let's go back into our file, make this nice and big for everyone, go down, and we're going to create an image object. You don't need to know specifically what an object is, but what we're essentially saying is we're going to get this picture and we're going to store it. This needs to be a capital because we're using this module here. And we're going to basically store our image, which is egg.jpg. Make sure it's in the right directory, of course. If you don't know about directories, you probably need to look something. Like if we were back one, then we would do something like this. And if it was in a different folder. So this is it. We've actually created our image object now. It's this easy. Now all we actually need to do is we need to do plt.imshow, which is a matplotlib function, which is why I've included plt. I think it isn't strictly necessary to do this, but I like to be explicit. And we're also going to do plt.show, and this is going to show our image, like so. And we're just going to come back into here, and we're going to run our script again. And I've actually missed something. Yes, so inside imshow, I'm going to make this big again. So what image do we actually want to show? We want to show im. So Python 3 a.py. And hopefully this doesn't crash. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I might cancel this. Oh, there you go. It doesn't usually take that long. If I run it again, it'll probably just come up. Yeah, there you go. So that's good. That's what we actually wanted. So if we run that again, I can actually make the picture nice and big. And something that's worth noting is where 0, 0 lies. We notice on our x-axis that the 0 is here, and on the y-axis the 0 is here. So the point 0, 0 is actually up here, and the point 500, 0, or whatever this point here is, I'm just going to call it 500, would be up here. And yeah, so that's pretty good. So we've managed to open an image there, and something I wanted to quickly just show you, what we would usually do, isn't strictly necessary yet, but we would be converting this, in the future we'll be converting images into NumPy arrays, because that allows us to kind of work with them, and then it allows us to kind of get the shape. So if we did im.shape, which is what we're going to print now, then it will actually tell us what our image looks like in terms of its characteristics. And if we just make this big, so this 667 actually represents our y-axis. It's saying there's 667 rows or pixels in the vertical direction, but we can treat it as our rows. And then each row has the width of the columns. So there's 500 columns, so each row has 500 elements almost. And then each one of those has a 3-dimensional array consisting of its RGB values, which is red, green, blue, which is what the 3 represents. If it was a grayscale, then it would just be a 1. And most likely it would just be, the whole thing would just be represented as a 1-dimensional array, which you can do. But I hope that was useful. And if you liked, subscribe. I'm currently trying to build this community of people interested in computer vision, so check out my website and leave a like or comment. And thank you for watching.